And today I will be talking about my final project for PESU IO Slot 6, a deep dive into Linux. The course is being run by BK Karthik, who has been a fantastic mentor throughout this whole experience. And the final project of this course involved me writing a miscellaneous character device driver, the implementation of which I will walk you through right now. So it's a single C file, as you can see, and you can see the different headers that we're using. Just some module information, because after all, this is a kernel module, which we are implementing. The point of this is to implement a miscellaneous character device driver. And a little bit of background on miscellaneous character device drivers is that they are drivers that you can use to process some amount of stream data, so to say. Like, for example, if you want to track the input from a mouse, you would use a character device driver to do that, or something along those lines. I'm not too sure, but I do believe that is correct. As opposed to block-oriented drivers, which do things like writing to disk and stuff. So the implementation here is a miscellaneous character device driver, which means that the operating system has provided us with some more abstractions in terms of making it easier for us to implement this driver. So yeah, I'll be walking you through the code. The first thing we have to do is we have to initialize a Misc device struct, which you can see here at line 101. What this does is it essentially creates a struct which represents the device driver itself, and we have you can see the minor number being set as a dynamic minor, which means we're allowing the kernel to set the minor number to make sure that there's no namespacing conflict between other minor device drivers. We're setting a name, and we're giving it a pointer to all the file operations, which is defined in another struct, as you can see here. We have my write and my read. So the point of this driver is that we'll be accepting only one type of input and giving only one type of output. So let me just bring the code to that up here. So as you can see, the my read function essentially reads only one specific thing, and we have the design of the device driver, the character device driver, is such that we will accept only one type of input, and we will return only one output. Yeah. So my read is essentially called when we want output from the character device driver. And since the content is static, we do not need to write to file or to disk anywhere. So you can see the requisite function headers here. And you can see that since the content is static, we're just returning the output as simple read from buffer there. And moving on to the my write function, which is where we accept input. There's some error handling going on over here, of course, with the requisite function arguments that function parameters that we need to take in. What we do is we create a mock buffer. We write the content into that using this here. We find this return value. And if it's a valid return value, then we just compare it to, if the write was successful, we just make sure that the content that has been written is what we wanted to accept as valid input. If it's not, we just return an error code. And now what we're doing is in the init function, we are registering the module with the kernel as a miscellaneous character device driver through this function. The cool thing is this function abstracts away a lot of difficult things that we would have otherwise had to do, including setting up the major number ourselves and stuff. So in essence, we're just we have a lot of freedom to move here through this. If there's a non-zero return code, that means the registration is failed, and we notify the user of that. And in the exit function, we just have some debug output, and we deregister the miscellaneous character device driver. And we have some module specifiers here. The cool thing is I learned a lot about how Linux systems work, and I'm thankful for that. I'd just like to thank the instructor and everyone else who was a part of the organization of this course in PESU IO as a whole for giving me the chance to learn this thing. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thank you.